If you want to understand how ATS systems actually work and why so many resumes fail inside them, this video is for you. Today I'm breaking down what actually happens when you submit your resume based on recruiter workflows, hiring technology, and the AI tools now built into modern recruiting systems. I coach mid-career professionals.
I really appreciate all that you do. Is so valuable. It really is.
Especially veterans and former federal employees through career transitions.
And I think that what made the biggest difference for me was actually the coach himself.
The moment you upload your resume, something important happens that most job seekers never see. Your resume isn't stored as a PDF or Word file the way you uploaded it. Instead, the system pulls the information out of the resume and converts it into structured data. This process is called resume parsing. The system extracts things like your job titles, companies, skills, education, employment dates. But here's the part most people misunderstand. The system isn't evaluating whether you're a good candidate. This is how it actually works. Your resume is simply being turned into searchable information, which means your resume isn't competing against a robot, it's competing for visibility inside a database. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. A recruiter once told me something interesting. When they open a role, they don't always read every application first. Sometimes they search the database instead. They type something like cybersecurity, risk assessment, 5 years experience, and the system instantly shows the candidate whose resumes match those signals. But once your resume becomes data inside that system, how does the platform decide which candidate recruiters actually see? And if you're curious how your resume is actually being understood inside those systems, I put an ATS visibility review link in the description where you can submit it. But that's not even the most important part. The system isn't just looking at your resume, it's also breaking down something else. Modern recruiting systems now use AI tools to understand job descriptions itself. Instead of treating the job posting like a block of text, the system tries to understand what the role actually requires. It breaks down the job's description into structured signals like role type, seniority levels, groups of skills, experience in that industry, years of experience. So if a job description says something like led cross-functional programs, manage vendor relationships, oversee agile delivery, the system may interpret that as program management, mid-senior leadership with agile delivery experience. Now the platform has a clear model of the job. So if the system understands the job, it understands your resume. How does the two connect? Once both the resume and the job description are structured, the platform starts comparing the two, not always with a visible score, but using signals that title similarity, skill overlap, seniority alignment, experience in that industry. Some recruiting systems now use AI assistance tools to help recommend candidates to recruiters. But these systems are not automatically hiring people. They're helping recruiters discover candidates faster. But this leads to a problem many candidates never realize they have. Because when the system understands the job clearly, it becomes much easier to spot resumes that don't clearly signal a role. And this is where most resumes quietly fail. There's actually a name for this problem. I call it the role signal problem. When a resume sends mixed signals about what job you actually do, both the system and the recruiter struggle to place you. Many resumes are written like career biographies. They include things like operations, training, compliance, analysis, projects, leadership, which means the resume is describing many different types of work instead of one clear professional role or type of job. This makes the candidate look versatile, but it also makes it harder for both the recruiter and the recruiting system to quickly understand what main job the person actually performs. Because when both the system and the recruiter are struggling to answer one simple question, what job does this person actually do? A vague resume becomes harder to match to a specific role. At this point, you're probably wondering something. If someone looked at your resume right now, would they instantly know what job you actually do? Or would they have to read your entire career to figure it out? Let me pause here for a second, because this is the moment when many people realize something. Their resume isn't unclear because they lack experience. It's unclear because their role signal is mixed. And when I review resumes for clients, the first question I ask is simple. If I remove the name from the resume, can I instantly tell what role this person performs? If you're curious what your resume is signaling right now, I put an ATS visibility review link in the description where you can submit it, and I'll show you exactly what recruiters and hiring systems are actually seeing. Now let's talk about the other gatekeeper in the hiring process, because even when your resume does get surfaced, there's still one more obstacle. Even with AI tools built into modern recruiting systems, the final decision still happens with the person, a recruiter. And recruiters review a lot of resumes. Many job postings receive hundreds of applications within days, which means recruiters review resumes quickly, very quickly. Title, experience, impact. If those signals align with the job, the recruiter keeps reading. If they don't, the recruiter skips them. So, if both the system and the recruiter are looking for clarity, what actually improves your visibility? Many candidates try to optimize their resumes by adding more keywords, more skills, more phrases from the job description. But here's the problem. The worst thing you can do for your resume's visibility is turn it into a keyword list, because when everything is emphasized, nothing stands out. And when your professional identity is scattered across multiple roles, both recruiters and the recruiting system struggle to understand where you fit. The strongest resumes reinforce a clear professional lane: operations leader, program manager, security analyst, compliance investigator. When the signal is consistent, your resume becomes much easier for both systems and the recruiters to recognize. So let's put this all together. Modern recruiting systems do more than just store resumes. They parse candidate information. They analyze job descriptions. They help recruiters discover candidates. But recruiters still make the final hiring decisions. Most people think that the goal is to beat the ATS. Actually, the goal is to be clear to the system and to the recruiter, because the clearer your role identity is, the easier it becomes for both the system and people to recognize your value. Now, if you've ever found yourself constantly rewriting your resume for every job you apply to, that might actually be making things worse. In the next video, I explain why professionals should stop rewriting your resumes for every job and instead start with what I call a baseline resume. Watch that video next, because once you understand that system, your entire job search becomes easier. And I'll see you there right here.